Hi everyone, welcome back for another episode of Atoms for the Love of Movie Picks. This time around we're going to be talking about the 2021 film Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, I almost didn't know what year to say this movie came out because originally this movie was supposed to come out in 2020. And then the COVID, it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. It was really annoying, and then they finally released it at the end of last year in theaters, and it just came out on Blu-ray. So I finally got a chance to watch it. I have been waiting for this movie since I first learned of it through a teaser trailer that was released. I can't remember when in 2019, but the teaser trailer was released in 2019. So almost 2 years since the teaser trailer was released, they've finally, well, realistically, I mean, the movie got released basically 2 years after the teaser trailer. I didn't get to see the movie for almost 3 years since I saw the teaser trailer. But it was not disappointing, folks. Definitely been looking forward to this one. And the main thing that I was really looking forward to this one, so obviously, as you know, Ghostbusters, the franchise, the movie franchise, started in 1984. I have to double check the year the second one came out. I can never get this straight if it's 87 or 89 when the second one came out. And then in that range there, also the real Ghostbusters cartoon was released. And then you went into the Extreme Ghostbusters, and of course you had I believe it was, I have to check the year on this. I think it's 2016. They released the kind of own storyline, other than the fact that the name is the only thing in common, the all-female Ghostbusters. Well, that was good with its own storyline, and they had the cameos of the original Ghostbusters, which was hilarious. Not as Ghostbusters, just as random characters considered in the movie. Just because of that, when I heard about this film and I heard it was going to be basically the third movie, after the first original two with the original Ghostbusters, it was tied in directly with the original two, and I heard that these Ghostbusters were going to be obviously with the exception of Harold Ramis because he died quite a number of years ago. I was keen to see how they were going to factor in the other three remaining Ghostbusters. I was kind of nervous because based off of what they did in the 2016 film, obviously, like I said, I know it wasn't the actual Ghostbusters, but just like the whole cheesy cameo thing, I was really worried that that's kind of what they were going to do with this one. They were going to have cheesy cameos where they were in the movie for like one scene and had like 5 lines, and it was just going to be awful. And I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to give it away, but how they ended up factoring in the original Ghostbusters, I thought was pretty well done. I would have liked to have seen more. But based on the way they did the storyline of this movie, it made the most sense the way they used the original characters. So in that regard, it was well done. Me personally, it would have been nice if they could have worked the storyline differently so you saw more of the Ghostbusters characters. But I still think they did a phenomenal job. The storyline is brilliant. They tie in a lot of original things from the original couple of movies, more so over the first one than the second one. And it's pretty neat how they did it. So I mean, it starts off. You see at the beginning of the movie, you see a man being chased by what you assume is a ghost in this kind of little small American town, and he's basically driving away from this giant mountain-looking thing, very ominous looking clouds. Not weather related in any way. They're obviously spiritual in nature, and something is chasing him in this truck. Now you never see his face; you can kind of see his figure, but you quickly figure out that it's supposed to be Egon Spangler. He's basically disassociated himself with the Ghostbusters in the sense he's moved to this small town of Somerville. I forget the state that it's in. It's not New York. It's Midwest somewhere. But anyways, in this small town, he's taken up residence in this farm, and basically, that's the start of the storyline. Basically, I gotta say it because the next part doesn't make sense if I don't say this. He ends up dying. I'm not 100% gonna say how. Just say he ends up dying. And you learn that he actually has a family. He has a daughter and 2 grandkids that he leaves this farm to, this property to. They're pretty down on their luck with money, and they have really no choice but to go and check it out. And you know, the one grandkid, the granddaughter, is a lot like Egon Spangler, kind of nerdy, really smart, especially for her age. And you know, they find a lot of his old ghost busting equipment and learn of what's going on in there. And you know, there's, like I said, there's a lot of neat tie-ins to the original movie. It all makes sense in the end once you see it. You know, I think that the actors that were picked to play these characters were really well done. You know, you got McKenna Grace and Finn Wolfhard as the two grandkids. Carrie Coon plays the daughter slash mother of the daughter of Egon Spangler, the mother of the kids. And I think also picking Paul Rudd to do a character. The best way I can describe his character, it's almost like he's the new Rick Moranis character. He's the new Louis Tully. You know, not quite as, you know, let's say loserish in the sense of like he's hard luck with the ladies. And you know, he's not an accounting guy, but he's a smart guy. He ends up, you'll see more what I mean with the Louis Tully connection, especially when it comes to Carrie Coon's character, the mother. But I think picking him added a nice comedic element to it. There's a lot of the funny scenes involve him, and I think it was just, you know, the whole movie is really well done. It's very tasteful in the storyline that they do too, because they basically did this movie as an homage and paying tribute to Harold Ramis's character Egon Spangler. And so yeah, in that regard, it was really cool. And you know, it's just some funny things like with the mini Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That was freaking hilarious. But I think for me personally, what was really interesting was, you gotta remember, like I said, the original Ghostbusters came out in 1984. The second one, like I said, I can't remember if it was 87 or 89. So they came out in an era where there's a lot of practical effects, computer generated effects were just kind of in their infancy. And you know, it's neat to see, like, excluding the 2016 all-female Ghostbusters, which, like I said, that kind of doesn't count because it's its own thing. But except for the name, they really, and the base storyline, they really have nothing to do with each other. So it was kind of interesting to see Ghostbusters in the new age, because you got to remember, let's say for the sake of argument, it was 89 that the second one came out. So you're talking. Just started, you know, basically 31 years. Actually, in the movie, it takes place in 2021, so 32 years between the, you know, second movie and the this movie. So, like many decades have passed between the two of them. So the real life technological things that are different, like their cell phones. You know, in the movie itself, like you got cell phones and the internet. And like, just in terms of just, you know, movie technology, like I said, there's a lot of computer generated images, but they're well done computer generated images, and just more realistic, modern, practical special effects. But it's also neat to see the Ghostbusters in the modern age. So I think it was really well done. And you know, and also, you know, like I said, pretty much bringing back a lot of the original characters. You know, they even brought back, I can't think of her name. What her name is in real life. I think it's Annie something, who plays Janine Melnitz. She has a role in this as well. The only one that I thought was weird, just because if you're going to do it right, was bringing back Sigourney Weaver's character, Dana Barrett. The only reason why I say that was weird, and I'm not really giving away too much by saying this because she's pretty much non-existent in the film. If you watch into the post-credit scenes, there's two. I'm not going to give away the second one because it's the second scene. It's much farther down in the credits, and it's exciting. That's all I'm going to say. It leads to some exciting, promising potential what's going to happen next news. But Sigourney Weaver's, she's literally in this one post-credit scene with Bill Murray's character Peter Venkman. Like, it's kind of confusing. It's like it almost makes it seem like they ended up as a couple. Like, after everything was all said and done, they ended up getting married. Like, they're sitting in a house together, you know, reenacting basically the scene from the Ghostbusters where Peter's shot. You know, he's when he's a university professor doing studying the negative effects of electrical stimulation, however he worded it, on ESP abilities. You know, it's just kind of a strange scene. Like, it's cool, but it's weird because it really doesn't have anything to do with the movie. It's kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of pointless. Like, why would, like, just for the sake of saying you had her back, like, if you're gonna have her, like, in some point in the movie, don't stick her in a post-credit scene. But it is what it is. It was neat. It was weird, but you know, again, the movie overall, highly recommend checking out Ghostbusters Afterlife. If you're like me, a big fan of the Ghostbusters and also a fan of nostalgia, because that's what this movie does. Without harping on it too much or beating it to death or reenacting too much of the other scenes from the other movies, it does a very tasteful job. Like I said, they do a great job of paying respect and homage to Harold Ramis' character, Egon Spangler. And it's just over, and the new characters introduced, they do their job very well. So yeah, just a great overall film. It's great to see Ghostbusters, like I said, in the new age. And yeah, if you've not seen Ghostbusters Afterlife, folks, check it out. You will not be disappointed. And you take care of yourselves. And before I actually finish that thought, yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife. At this point, like, I basically I pre-ordered it off Amazon because at this point you can't even rent the thing. Like, it's pretty much rent to own at this point on most digital streaming services. So you better, in my opinion, just to buy the thing outright if you like the physical copy. If you want to buy it on the digital streaming services, just buy it, because yeah, renting is pretty much the price of buying it at this point. So yeah, buy it anywhere movies are sold. Most digital streaming services you can buy it to own at this point. So yeah, take care of yourselves, folks. We'll see you in the next one. Take her easy.